Here we are removing the little engine out of the International truck, which hindsight, I should have pulled the cab first. And I'm now resetting O-rings on a set of injectors. I use roughly a 5/16 socket to set down the top part of the seal there, as you can see. Not really finessing it. Well, I apologize for not leaving a whole lot of content, but I've been under the weather for a while. Caught the flu, got pneumonia afterwards. You know, so when they say take it slow, they mean take it slow, because after you start feeling better, if you push it, you're gonna push yourself into a hole. But I got back onto this little blue engine here. Well, it's now blue. Let me show you what we got here. We got that little Detroit, or I should say Detroit, that little International, most of the way put back together. Still waiting on some components up here. Got the new water pump on it. They got the top end all assembled. Put new injector O-rings in. They didn't want new injectors, but new injector O-rings, and re-oiled the oil manifold. It's about the same way as you see with your 6-liter manifolds. About the same situation in there. So you gotta make sure that you are pretty precise on it. Make sure you double check them. Make sure you don't have any leaks in there, because any leaks up there, this engine will run like crud. But back onto that. Here we go. There she is. Just got a little bit more blue paint to throw on it. Got some more components put back on, and I'm just kind of waiting until I get the balancer on. And once I get the balancer back on in place, I'll go ahead and paint it the rest of the way, make it off. I think this side's pretty much good. Nothing more I need to do there. But I paint them for a couple reasons. One, it looks good. Two, if someone's to go back in and change things or move things around in there, they're going to break the paint loose. And I don't tell them what color I paint these. I just kind of randomly paint them at reason. So matching the paint up is going to be rather fun. That, and I really don't have to worry about it with this customer. But when you pay to have an engine done and it comes to you and it looks pretty, you get excited about it. If it comes to you and it looks like a puzzle a 9-year-old put together, you get kind of eerie, like, is it going to run? Well, there we go. Like I said, I got some paint to throw on here to blend in everything. Oh, and you guys are probably seeing this up here. I don't have no special caps for that. That happens to be, I'm not sponsored by them either, a Folgers can lid. It just happens to fit on there just about perfect. You put the clamp on it, it seals it off. I like to seal off the engines and every little opening on them when I get through it, just to make sure that you don't drop something down inside there. And on top of it, we have a nasty cold front coming up. Where the truck is placed for this engine is in a Quonset that has no lights, and no insulation and no heat. So unless which I can't because I'm missing the front balancer piece, unless I get this engine all assembled tomorrow, which I can't, it's not going in, because tomorrow afternoon we're expecting snow, and then we're supposed to have like a month of nasty weather, which is expected. It is February and we have not yet had winter yet. We've had 3 or 4 days where it gets cold. We have not had our massive snows. We haven't had our massive freeze yet. So there we go. Maybe I can actually get some videos of me actually doing some recoveries or moving snow or something like that. But until then, I'm just pushing dirt around. But here we go. There's the International engine right there. It's not as quite as pretty or as big as the Cat motor. Now, you guys all saw the Cat engine. That Cat engine was on this exact same stand. See those plagues right back there? That's how much longer that Cat engine was than this little International. I believe this is a little 590. I believe that's what this is, a 590 International. But this one waiting on is I'm waiting on a speedy sleeve. Because if you guys can see that right there, That is right there into the oil. It will not seal up. I promise you that. And I'm not even going to take chances with trying to get that to seal up. Because what runs off the front of these engines? This is your oil pump. And if that starts leaking, well, there's a possibility that you might lose oil pressure to the engine. That means all this right here, all this right here can be ruined. So whenever you do an engine, you don't skip on little minor things like not sealing up the oil pump. You can skip on some things like this bracket that I need to weld. Yeah, you can skip on that. Anything with cooling, anything with oil, I would strongly suggest not doing that. Oh, and the customer wanted me to reuse their water pump. Yeah, well, there we go. That is a new water pump. If he doesn't like it, I'll pay for the water pump and add it to the bill. Because I am not going to build an engine and put an old water pump on it or an old thermostat. There is a new thermostat up in there. There's the old one. Don't care how long it's been in there. If I pull it out and I'm putting it together with a new engine, it's going to get a new thermostat and a new water pump. And obviously a new oil pump. I won't reuse oil pumps, especially with international engines. Anytime I do them, I won't do them. And then on top of that, you do have to reuse. I did reuse the injectors. I resealed them, re-O-ringed them, because anytime I pull an injector out, place it back in. You don't have to, but anytime I do, I just go ahead and put new O-rings on it. It's just a practice of mine, each their own. But the oil manifold, very important. When you guys pull those out, which I did show you guys me putting it back in, I take them, I tear them down, I clean them, and I go through and put all new O-rings through them. And then on these bigger trucks, on the little truck you saw me on the International, the little 6-liter going, I don't have any way to pressurize it. These bigger ones, once I get them set into place, I have plugs, I plug into them, and I actually prime them up to make sure they're not leaking. Just kind of something I do, just to the fact that I don't want to be trying to get this to crank over and going, why do I have no oil pressure in my main? So if I do have no oil pressure, there's something else. It's not the oil manifold. It wouldn't be the oil pump, which is right there, which, believe it or not, can be a pain in the butt when this is in the truck. Well, thank you guys for watching my videos. And like I said, I apologize for not making the best content or the most exciting content, but you know, what can I say? Sometimes simple is better, and I try not to have a whole lot of excitement, because excitement's me on the side of the interstate and people trying to drive over me. I'd rather be somewhere relatively safe, in a field, dirt road, country roads, somewhere like that, which it does happen. I almost had a lady, what was it, about 4 months ago, I was on a country road in the middle of nowhere, not a person in sight, probably for 52 miles. Service trucks on there, which I didn't think about it, you know. It's middle of the day. I'm talking middle of the day. So I didn't have my overhead lights on, and I didn't have all my flashy lights on. I did wear my vest, because pretty much everything I own, it has a reflective on it somewhere. So I did have my reflective jacket on and whatnot, because it was a little chilly out that morning. But a lady went to drive around the truck, and she must have been gawking at what the truck hood was up for and all that. Did not see me, and drove over my foot. And I kid you not, I was filming at that time, but I just went and shut the camera off to reset it. And I was walking back to the truck, and I turned around to look, and she drove right over my foot. So that is one blessing, majority of the time. Now in the summertime, I get a little laxed. You'll see me wearing slippers. I shouldn't, because of that situation, it would really messed up my foot. Especially to the fact, I don't know if the lady realized she ran me over, or hit my foot, I should say. But normally I wear steel toes, which saved me on that one, because after she hit me, she says, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "You just drove over my foot." She goes, "Okay, well, you're okay," and then took off. And I'm talking, she took off pretty quick. Once she saw I had the camera in my hand, she really took off. I don't think she wanted to get her plates on the YouTube there, and I wish I would have got it, but she took off and left. So that's kind of what you have to deal with. Not everybody's honest as you might seem, and even being out here in the good parts of the Midwest, sometimes there's some characters around that aren't just as honest as you'd like to think they are. And I don't know if she really knew she drove over my foot. I told her she drove over my foot, but she left and left me out there. And if I'd have had no not regular shoes on, driving my service truck might be fun. Well, because, well, for one, it is a manual transmission, and I have to use, majority of the time, 2 feet to drive it. And having a foot that's all messed up, it would have messed it up. 2, this was kind of the middle of the season. This is about August. I think it was September. So I'm still going pretty hot and heavy, and trying to limp around with a sore foot would have made things kind of difficult due to the fact that, well, no, you see me right now working in a shop. Majority of the time, I am not in a shop. I'm in a field, on a dirt road, underneath the vehicle on the side of the highway or the interstate. I don't normally work in a shop. Don't have that blessing. That's why if you look at my service truck, that's where there's reflectors over it and lights on like I got lights on all the corners. Now people like Casey, he is very correct. If you have too many lights on, you will blind people and they will come towards you. But then on that notion, I did have a way when I put my lights on. I went through and a lot of my lights, I went through and put deals on them so I can shut certain diodes down, so I can shut the intensity of my lights down, which made a world of difference. Plus, on top of that, I have different stages of lights. I have one set that's super bright, which is pretty much, hey, look, I'm within this area, stay away from me, don't even get close to me, to, hey, look, there's something coming up on you, just kind of pull over to the side, to, you know, just you're in a neighborhood, just to keep people from taking their 10-speed bicycle and hitting you. So yes, I do have that. But the best part is like on my top one that's super, super, super bright, I had to rebuild it when it got sent to me because, well, they knocked it all loose. So when I was going through there, I was looking through it going, you know what? In the programming, if I was just to add another switch to it, I can shut 50% of those LEDs down right now, and I still have them, but they're not overly bright, because with these new LEDs, they can become excessively bright. And I used to have my rotator, which you probably saw on my old Dodge pickup, which was a rotator, which it had LED in it, but it had it on rotators, and those were really nice. But rotators, dirt roads, vibrations, they come apart, and I was constantly getting out and having to tap it and hit the light because it stopped flashing or just shine, which was just kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was just a pain in the butt. Plus, on top of it, summertime, we do get bad storms, and having big plastic hoods, I should say, for these light bars. I think I had that light bar for about 7 years, and I replaced the lens on them about 4 times because of different hailstorms. I had a tree branch hit at one time, which the tree branch was a whole different deal. But there we go. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll try to get you some better quality videos in the future.